All right, welcome to Talkin Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to do a Bitcoin and Bitcoin miner update. Some very unusual stuff happened today, so we are starting to see some winners and some losers, so I want to go through that. We'll also look at the Bitcoin charts and see where that may be heading, and take a quick look at the overall market. So if you're new to the channel, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, if everybody could please smash the like button, it helps the channel out a lot. And lastly, you can join the channel and become a member by hitting the join button on the YouTube page. If you do not see a join button, you can hit the link below, and we have some content for members only. In addition to that, we have a members only live stream every Tuesday. So, okay, let's talk about Bitcoin. I want to start right on the Bitcoin miner big board, because today was, I think, a very unusual day. We have not seen too many days where there were big ups and big downs. And there's a pattern that's starting to form. So I want to take a look at that. Okay, so if you look at the range on this day, we went all the way from DigiHost up 13% to Argo Blockchain down 9.8%. That's about a 23% range on the day. And we were really at every spot in the middle. So that is not a normal day for the Bitcoin miners. There are three Bitcoin miners in particular that seem to be breaking away, and we're going to look at some charts later that I've done that really show exactly what I'm talking about, but I'm just going to tell you what they are right now. Marathon was up 10.26% on the day. That was the second most out of any Bitcoin miner. This is a day when half the board was red. So Marathon was up 10.26%. That's a huge move to the upside. Riot was up 3.77%. That was one of the bigger moves to the upside. And Hut 8 was up 2.06%. So that was a nice move to the upside. Those three stocks, in the charts that we're going to look at later, you're going to see those three are behaving differently than the rest of the Bitcoin mining stock. And it's worth paying attention to. On the flip side, you have a few stocks that are behaving differently to the downside. Core Scientific was down 9.57% today. Core Scientific is now trading at 88 cents. This is almost unthinkable. I mean, this is basically priced to go out of business, and obviously there is panic selling in this. There may be shorting. I don't know what's going on, but Core Scientific stock is in an absolute free fall. Argo Blockchain, same thing. Argo Blockchain was down 9.8% today. It's trading at $1.38. This thing was at $4 or $5 just a month ago. So, and that was way down off of its highs. So this has been absolutely decimated. Gree went under $1 today and it closed at 99 cents, down 5.43%. A couple of the very small stocks maybe showed a sign of bottoming out, and I want to talk about those real quick. Moss and stock ticker MIGI, that was up 8.37%. So it's possible it's searching for a bottom here and it's going to start to turn around. We'll see. DigiHost was up 13%. DigiHost is a 59.99, so call it a 60-cent stock. This stock has been totally destroyed. It's trading for pennies on the dollar. So this had a very strong day as well today. So there was a few of the things that have been laggers that actually had a nice day today. So it's way too soon to call, but possibly we may see some things starting to put a bottom in. Okay, so as always, before I look at Bitcoin, I just like to put the rest of the day in perspective. The S&P was up 1.19%, the Dow was up 1.34%, the NASDAQ was up 0.86%, and the Russell was up 0.35%. So you're going to see these got better all day long as the day went by. In fact, the NASDAQ started the day in the red, and it was down as much as 1%, and it moved up to 0.86 in the green. So the NASDAQ had kind of a recovery day all day long. So that puts it in perspective. Now let's take a look at Bitcoin. Okay, so this is Bitcoin on a 15-minute time frame. So you're going to see, as always, there is an orange line here. This is where Bitcoin was when the markets closed back on Friday. So that's the last time the equity markets were trading. So from that point until the close today, Bitcoin was up about 0.75%. So it was fluctuating between, 0 and 1% all day, mostly in that 0.5% to 1% range. So we were a little bit up from Friday. We were very sideways all weekend. This has been like watching paint dry. Bitcoin went from being the most volatile thing on the market to almost zero volatility. We're sitting right now at just under 19,400. We've been at plus or minus 19,100 for months, it seems like. So we are up just a little bit from there. So Bitcoin was up a little, the markets were up a little, so you would think the Bitcoin miners would have had a good day, but it seems like at this point, like I said, they're starting to be the winners and the losers. And the stocks that have been doing well did have a good day, and they were in the green, but we were about 50-50 green and red. The stocks that have not been doing well, they were in the red, and some of them were in the deep red today. Okay, so this is Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame. So each one of these candles represents 4 hours. You're going to see this is the last 10 days of activity on the 4-hour time frame. This green line right here is where we've been hanging around for about the last month and a half. You'll see this is where we closed on Friday, so the orange line's kind of right on top of the green line. But you're going to see we have just stuck to this green line. Yep, we popped up a little, came right back down to it, then we bounced down a little, came right back to it, bounced up a little, and then, just 2 candles ago, we touched this line again. Now, we seem to have a little bit of momentum going in the right direction right now. However, for once today, I am not going to call for a relief rally. I have been looking for a relief rally for the last month. So this week, I am going to sit and wait. If you watched my video from earlier today, there's a lot of big dates going on this week, a lot of earnings reports this week, a bunch of important dates coming up next week. So I want to see how the market does going through those time frames. So I guess right now, my hope is that at the end of this week, we end up ahead of where we started. If that happens, then I will get back on to thinking we're going to get the relief rally that I've been thinking we're going to have and waiting for the last month. So I haven't given up on it, but I am pressing the pause button for a week because we do need to see these earnings. So if I look at the RSI on the 4-hour time frame, you'll see that we did get, over the weekend, we got almost all the way up to overbought. So that was pretty healthy. That was in these green candles right here. We had a nice run up. We also had an encouraging event because as we pulled back, we stayed above 50 on the 4-hour RSI. So we've stayed above 50 and we're rebounding from there. So if we can stay above 50, there's the potential. Again, I said I wasn't going to call for a rally, but this looks semi-encouraging. I guess I'll leave it at that. Here's the 4-hour MACD. We're still printing green candles on the 4-hour MACD. So we had a bullish crossover several days ago. We are up from there, but not dramatically. And you can see this is very indecisive as well. These are all pretty small candles, whether it's to the red side or the green side. So this hasn't really made a move either. This is a chart we've been following along the channel for the last month, and essentially, so what this chart has done is measured from that point when all these Bitcoin miners hit their 52-week low back at the end of June. How have they performed since then? So the first thing you're going to notice is I said there was 3 winners. Remember, we talked about 3 stocks that were green on the day and that seemed to be acting differently than the rest of the group. And you're going to see this chart really points this out. Marathon, which was up over 10% today, it was one of the big winners on the day. It's up 148% off of its lows from this summer. So Marathon is in runaway first place over really the last 4 months of stock performance. HUT is in second place. It's up 56% off of its lows from the summer. And Riot is up 50% off of its lows from the summer. So some of these stocks are having a very bad run. The market is clearly pricing in a big chance of potentially these companies having to do either a massive reorganization or potentially going out of business. You're going to see near the top of the list, you'll see in gold, Bitcoin. Bitcoin's up 10% off of its lows from this summer. So the volatility on Bitcoin has absolutely turned off. It flash crashed down to that 17,500. Even on that daily candle, it closed very close to 19,000. We've been sitting at 19,000 pretty much ever since. We've popped up to 20 a little bit. We popped a little bit below, but that $19,200 green line on our chart, we've touched that almost every single day since this summer. So you can see there's a couple of stocks that are doing about the same as Bitcoin. Hive's up 11%, TeraWulf's up 10%. So those are hanging in there with Bitcoin, but Bitcoin really should be a leveraged play. So a lot of these things that were already at their all-time lows are down significantly from that point. So I really like to keep my eye on this chart because this is where I think potential opportunities can arise. You've got 12 stocks in the red over the last 4 months, while Bitcoin's up 10%. So I'm looking for outliers inside of that group. So I can tell you some of the purchasing I've done, and I did just start buying again. I took about a week off of buying anything because we were so sideways. It just really wasn't worth, there wasn't any dollar cost averaging for me to do, but I did pick up a little today. And I did buy some of these items that are in the red that I think the market has overreacted to. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy any of these stocks or sell any of these stocks. You guys need to do your own due diligence. Everybody knows their own risk tolerance, and these are ultra high volatility stocks. So please be careful while investing. But for me, I am looking closely at this chart, at these items in the red. I will also tell you, I do hold a couple of the stocks that are in the green that have outperformed. So that's why I like to diversify my portfolio. My overall portfolio is heavy in Bitcoin mining stocks, so I'd like to diversify among them because you can see these do not all behave the same at all. This is an updated list of each company's market cap. The first thing that jumps out at you is there's 3 of these that I have in green. It is the same 3 stocks. So the 3 stocks with the highest market cap are the same 3 stocks that have performed the best over the last 4 months. And these are the same 3 stocks that really, they're the only 3 remaining companies that have a significant HODL balance. Core Scientific's producing 5 times as many Bitcoin per month as HUT. Yet HUT has a higher market cap than Core Scientific. So this is really where you can start to see where the market has some comfort and where the market is deeply distressed. I also want to show, these numbers are starting to get tiny. We've got Bit Digital at $84 million. We've got Argo Blockchain at $66 million. These were like $500 million or $1 billion companies at some point over the last couple of years. So you can see all the way down at the bottom is DigiHost. That is a $17 million market cap, and Stronghold at $19 million. To me, those two are very interesting as well. These were much, much bigger companies. They've gone through major transitions. So again, you got to be careful looking at them. There is a story behind each and every one of these companies. But I do think some of these valuations and some of these market caps are getting awfully interesting. So I'm just going to finish out on the 1-day time frame, and you'll see we're having a little bit of a red candle today. Yesterday, actually the last 3 days in a row. On Friday, we bottomed out down around 18,500. We had a green day on Friday. We had a green candle on Saturday. We had a green candle on Sunday. So that was a nice run up. We're kind of sideways today and down a little bit, but we are still above this green line at 19,200. So that is encouraging. So no big movements today. We're still in a very neutral territory, and we'll keep our eye on earnings for the rest of the week, and definitely we'll keep our eye on these Bitcoin miners. So I will be back with another update probably tomorrow. So thanks so much for watching. If you made it this far, please remember to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. Thanks again, and I will see you in the next video.